We as millennials have access to a world of knowledge at our fingertips. We make news go viral with one click and can download an app to solve pretty much anything. We have redefined what it means to influence and be influenced. Coming up, how millennials are changing the game when it comes to engaging with politics, pop culture, and each other. The I Wish You Knew Cafe is open. Millennials make up about 22% of the US population, and between now and the 2020 presidential election, we're expected to surpass baby boomers as America's largest living generation. That's a lot of voters, and the potential to shape policy for decades to come. Joining me on the couch is Maya Lezane, Kiara Bell, Christina Jones, Will Lash, and keeping up with our conversation on Facebook and Twitter, our social media master, Adrian Pachoda.
Hi.
Adrian.
What do y'all think about the way we as a generation engage with politics compared to, say, our parents' generation?
Woo, that's a great question. I honestly feel like our parents were more engaged with politics because I should keep up with it, but I honestly do not keep up with what's going on. I know when the bad things occur because, of course, I'll see it on CNN or, they'll always plaster that all over the news. But as far as like getting engaged with the start to the end of it, I can honestly say I just don't.
Well, I look at it like this. I think that they were more engaged in terms of the actual act of voting.
Right.
But when you look at, when President Obama was elected, like that was when, social media really hadn't been used in that particular way before in terms of garnering new voters, especially for young voters. And it's even continued to even be a bigger push, this past midterm election with millennial voters. So, I think it's definitely getting better because voters are definitely more informed than they were back when our parents were.
Yeah, I feel like when our parents were voting and into like politics, like there were limited options. So we have so many distractions now. Like we have social media, we have all these different things. So we say our opinions of who we want to win or if we like Trump or don't like Trump, but we don't actually go to the voters booth where it matters sometimes. Like older generations, like the baby boomers, are the generation under that. So.
And then I also feel like there was the point of wanting to enact change. Yeah. In those years, there were a lot of concerns with how certain minorities were living. So they wanted to be in a position to say, okay, we sparked that change. I mean, that's not to say we're not doing it now, but I just feel like it was just a lot that they really wanted to change those past years.
Well, it's different. Our parents fought. They were fighting for voting rights.
Exactly.
And we were still fighting for voting rights in some
areas. I would disagree a little bit that they were more heavily engaged than we are today because we have, first of all, there's digital media campaigns and politics, and social media plays a big role. But I would also say that even the political people who are coming on are being younger and younger. So we have people in office at a younger age than we did back then, where you had to be like, 50, 60, male, white. And now we're having young women who are, literally leading movements.
I think
there were young people involved. I think now we're just more aware. We know who these people are. Because before you didn't really, if someone was running for an office in, Colorado somewhere, people here in D.C. wouldn't know who was running for a state.
But now they look like us, Now they look like us. So we have young women that are coming into office, and they have a voice, and they're not. It's not the middle age or older white man that has the say anymore. So I think two things. One, there's the suppression of the black vote, right? That's a thing, and people feel like their vote, millennials feel like our votes don't necessarily count. Right. And then there's the piece that, the people are more our age and they look like us, so maybe they, for the future of politics, will engage the people that otherwise weren't engaged.
What issues should we be concerned about leading to the 2020 presidential election?
I think a big issue is that the millennial generation are not tied to a party per se.
That's
there are a lot of independents. There are a lot of, I honestly, with my views, I would consider myself a libertarian.
Right.
But they're kind of wacky.
Yeah, sure.
So, do I really want to, So
Yeah.
most people are, because that's a kind of a middle of the road. Some things you're conservative about, some things you're liberal about.
Right.
So would you say it's like picking the lesser of two evils? It's like, well, I don't really 100% agree with this side or this side.
But I don't.
so-
I think where a lot of this generation loses sight is the fact that at the end of the day, politics is a power struggle. It's a game, and where I remember the whole Bernie or bust. People were like, well, we don't really like Hillary, so we're just not going to vote.
Right.
Well, at the end of the day,
Yeah,
you
I was
vote
so
for the party that you want to,
Yes.
that you're affiliated. If Bernie doesn't win and Hillary is the candidate, then you vote for Hillary,
Right.
so that
I
or
feel-
vice versa,
yeah.
because that's what the Republicans do.
I feel at the
Right. They
same
rally
time,
around the
like some
candidate.
people are scared to say their actual opinions on things because of what other people like. They might look down on it and be like, "Oh, I hate this I hate this political issue. I like this one." Like you shouldn't be afraid to say what you believe in.
Yeah.
Like as people are gonna have some conservative views, and there's some people that are gonna have liberal views. It's really rare when you see someone all the way to the left and all the way to the right.
Right. Yeah,
You see
and I
either a
think
middle
that-
that leans towards each side.
Yeah, and I think the internet,
definitely.
we were talking in previous episodes about is the internet good? Is social media bad? And I think in this case, sharing your opinion, if you're afraid of what people are going to say to your face, you can hide behind the computer and really, and that's unfortunately what a lot of like white nationalists and a lot of, problematic groups of like subcultures in the United States have done. But on the other side, you can be like rampantly vocal and political, even though our generation isn't really showing up at the polls as much. There's this new article that came out that we're slacktivists, that we like to use hashtags and, but we don't actually turn out to the
Right.
polls. I mean, do you think social media is leading to social change?
Yeah. Well,
I have no idea
Right.
why we. I know I'll speak from a personal experience. I know in past, trying to vote or whatever, I kind of found myself saying I don't have time to
Right.
do it. And I think that's what a lot of us do. We say we don't have time to actually go and vote. And I know for me, just speaking from my, personal experience.
Yeah. Well, as a country, we haven't made voting a priority. Actually, we should have Election day should be a holiday, and everyone should have the day off, so you should be able to get to the polls. For people who have kids and people who are, especially domestic workers, people who work 1 or 2, 3 jobs, they really
But
don't
they
have
give
time to
you
go.
We've got to go to a
though.
break, but stay with us. We'll be right back with more. Welcome back to I Wish You Knew. As we all know, most millennials live and breathe social media. So much so that some of us have turned our online presence into full-time careers. How are we as a generation influencing entertainment and pop culture as we know it?
Man, that's a great question. Yeah.
I mean, it started with Justin Bieber, right? Like that, it was YouTube and posting videos, and the next thing you know, he got discovered, and since then, everyone thinks that's the way to go. I mean, when you
I think it's actually a really great opportunity for anybody living in this day and age, because in the past, if you wanted to if you just wanted anybody to hear your voice, it was at the mercy of large corporations who had to, and then maybe even like middle management who had to be like, yeah, I'm gonna give you a passage through.
Yeah.
And now everybody can literally, you don't have that management in between, you don't have you can go straight to market, talk to people you want to talk to, engage the way you want
You're
to.
your own
So-
brand.
Yeah, it's
Your own
different now. Like
brand.
in the 90s and 80s, you actually had to know someone that knew someone in the
Yeah,
record
knew
label.
somebody.
Now you can go on SoundCloud, go on
Yeah.
YouTube, like you were saying previously. Like it's a lot. Like social media has
More
helped someone
control.
become a star in what they want to do.
Right,
Like,
and
it
you
was
can,
harder to become famous.
Like I said, you're your own brand, so you don't have to be what a label says you are.
Yeah.
Like Young Ma, you can be who you are. She's what, gender binary? Like it doesn't matter what you think I am. This is what I'm going to present, and you accept me for who I am.
So Nicole Hart on Facebook, she's following along our live stream. She asked, are celebrities with large platforms influential on politics within the younger generations?
Oh, definitely.
I think they have a platform. So I know there was the Cardi B, you know, when
she shook things up.
Yeah, she shook things up. But what I like about how her approach was, she prefaced it with saying, like, I don't know anything about politics, but I do have a platform, and I know that what's going on right now is wrong. So I'm gonna use this platform to expose that wrongdoing that, you know, that's happening. And I think in any position of power or influence, it is your responsibility I think it's your duty to use that platform.
There are always going to be the people though who say, well, stick to what you know. You don't know politics, so don't buy, like LeBron, shut up and dribble.
But
you know, stuff like that.
But who can tell you don't know politics?
Yeah, exactly. Because throughout history, it's always been those people of influence that have made a difference. I mean, we might be too young to know what they were doing back in the civil rights era, the pre-civil rights era, but there were stars. You have Muhammad Ali, you have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you have all those people who were heavily involved in the civil rights era that people listen to them.
Yeah. Right. One of the biggest things is freedom of speech. Like, we're entitled to our freedom of speech, and when you have that platform, when you have people that look at you as like an icon and like want to be you and like that you're their idol, like, why can't you say something for politics and your political beliefs? Like, why is it a bad thing? Like, when that Laura Ingraham girl said shut up and dribble, I felt like that was really ignorant. Like, LeBron's the biggest athlete in the world. Like, he's entitled to say something because he has that platform.
Exactly.
It's almost like if you think of our country as like a family, and like the president's the parent, and everybody should have a voice in the family. But then, you know, you're like a child, and you're like you go to speak up, and a family member's know your place. You can't say anything. It's just like, okay, maybe I don't know everything, but I know I can sense something is off, and I also do know I contribute to this family.
And there just like in a family, there are rules and policies and procedures in place that directly affect you. You know, and you may not think that you have a voice in that, but at some point, you deserve to be heard, right?
Think of the celebrity that brought all of the attention to vote Obama in office, like voting everybody wanted to vote. You know, all of the celebrities jumped in front of the camera on their page, and they're like, what was it, Rock the Vote, or you know, all of those different campaigns that were celebrity driven. So I think that absolutely celebrity influences.
Yeah, they influence everything else.
Everything.
So why wouldn't they influence politics? Right?
Absolutely.
Honestly, like, I feel like that was the start of it, because Obama, like, he was the embodiment of change. Like, he's the first African American president. You saw people from like the whole pop culture sphere, like you saw everyone just like going into like rallies. Oprah was a big help for them. After Oprah gave the stamp,
she might have been the biggest.
Everyone was like, all right,
And then
he's in office. You know?
There's that fear of missing out element. You know, it's like, well, everybody else is doing it. I want that sticker. You know, so if it's only for a sticker, we got another vote. Like,
No, that's definitely a fact. But I also want to talk about influencers, though. This thought, just popped up. How do we define that? Because, like, when I think of an influencer and we have social media, we're considering these people as social media influencers. But you look at the younger generation, you look at people that might be younger than us, and they're seeing things that we might deem inappropriate. But if we think about it, like, mentally, their minds haven't been fully developed. And they're initially developing their minds around what they're seeing on social media. So I just, social media, I really want to know you guys' thoughts about just the influencer word.
We just brought up like Cardi B.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you really look at Cardi B's story, I mean, it's a sort of a rags to riches story, but Cardi B was a stripper, right? So nothing, right?
No, seriously, no, she really was.
When it comes to our, the younger generation, they say, okay, is this the route that you're supposed to take to get I don't know. I'm just putting that out there.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do we think about that? And just to not to even piggyback off of Cardi B, but just other, people who are considered to be social media influencers, like, some of the things they do are kind of crazy. So, it's like, how do we separate the two?
They do crazy things, but at the same time, that platform is so big, they should be able to use it in order to get votes, even though if their past is a little,
it's like we accept it because they're influencers.
But their platform
they're supposed
is so
to be
big,
a little
why not?
radical, right?
Yeah. Even if we go back to just human nature, I think of technology and social media as just literally just shining a light on things. Even without it, like, those things would have happened. These kids are still being influenced around the world around them, like, regardless. So it's like, I don't know, that even segues into parenting in a new age, and like, and what that looks like as well.
Right.
Because influencers, there's old celebrities used to have like a facade around them, like Michael Jackson, Beyonce. All, like you're not really getting into like them.
You only saw their persona.
Their persona. With influencers now, people are following because it's the transparency piece, because they want to be entrenched in it.
Right.
So,
but I mean, is that like influential? Like, what? How do we?
Entertainment?
How are we
Well,
defining influencers?
So the difference between there's two influencers and celebrities. Influencers they're like niche. Like so, I'm a physical fitness model, right? And so I will use that and then target certain brands to promote that I use, and people believe that I use it, but the verified piece of it, like how do I know that you really are who you say you are? How do I know that you didn't just go to Dominican Republic and get that transfer?
Exactly.
You know, that part is still unclear to me. But celebrity can be so attached to any brand because you know their platform is because you know they may be an actor or a singer or both, and then brands attached to them for their platform. And I think it's the other way around for influencers. Influencers use that their specific focus and then attach brands, and you know they become trusted
and
because
build a relationship with you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Stay with us. I Wish You Knew will be right back. Welcome back to I Wish You Knew. I don't know about you, but all this talk about politics and culture can sometimes be overwhelming. In a time when information overload is an everyday struggle, taking the time to unplug is a must. What are some ways to practice self-care amid the chaos? The definition of a healthy lifestyle is different for everyone. What does it mean to you?
To me, it's, you know, completely unplugging from everybody and everything, whether that means going to the steam room or going on vacation.
Steamer, you fancy.
Yeah, I've always wanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it works. I'm telling you. Yes.
I have to try that.
All the time. Getting a massage.
I
but
have to try that.
You need to do what works for you because
Okay.
it is important for you to recalibrate.
Right. That's good though. I really have to try that. I know
Try
for
it.
me though, I essentially I just separate myself from everything. Like I know
Same.
sometimes my family might feel like I'm just like avoiding them, or I might walk and not speak or anything like that. But I know for me to wind down, I have to go right to my room. I have to close the door and I have to just release, breathe, and just think about how my day was, what I could do to be better.
That's your form of
my
meditation.
There we go.
Like when I was younger,
There we go.
I never used to work out. I never used to care about my diet. I used to walk past every gym I went to. I used to just eat. But once I was like, I need to change some things, I started eating better and working out. Like my confidence, everything just started to elevate. So I feel like that could just help other things as well.
Okay,
just
so
make
working
everything
out.
better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like what Christina said, where she said what works for you. Because some people are like, you know what, I need to just unplug and I need my quiet time. I know for me what works usually is I like to run things in parallel. So I'm like a parallel type of person where just detaching 100% isn't necessarily the solution for me. It's how can I throughout my day or throughout the week or just stop for a second and just and get it together and tell myself to just calm down or just do something relaxing that's in parallel with my day-to-day activities.
So you still have to multitask
to
relax. So that's very A-type.
Well, that leads me to a question that was asked on our Twitter. So if the people who are following on @IWishYouKnewDC on Twitter, Bita asked, in order to unplug, doesn't that require disconnecting from social media to connect with oneself? What do you guys think?
Yes, I think it's 100% important to disconnect from social media because one click of a picture or a video can end up down a rabbit hole and you're looking at somebody's whole life and now you're stressing because I don't have that and I want this and now you're stressed about something else. And social media and millennials are millennials, because of social media rather, have the highest level of depression. And so, because of that, you have to balance out and it's an individual journey. So again, I'm gonna go back to the point of figuring out what works best for you. Some people it's spirituality, some people it's I talk too much so I need to just And then to other people, it's like, well, maybe I just need to let it out.
Right,
you know,
right,
whatever
right.
that looks like, I think it's important to identify, because the alternative could be detrimental to your physical and emotional health.
Well, I'm a gym rat, so going to the gym that's my meditation, that's
Lucky
my
you, you're a
focus,
gym
you know. So I mean, I've always been an athlete. I was an athlete in college, like, so that's my way of woosah, you know, just getting around. But then you see people who are supposed to be in the gym and all they're doing is on their phone.
No,
I
they're
hate
taking pictures,
brainwash.
so
they're taking
much.
pictures of themselves in the mirror, and it's like,
Bro,
are you even gonna
you
live
guys
for it?
are like social media is the enemy for you know, wellness, but on
Productivity.
the flip
get a lot of
side,
good tips.
I don't know.
on the flip side, you can
Benefits.
use it for, like, I know I go to social media and I even go to podcasts a lot because it's and listen to like clips of stuff because it's passive, and you can get like really a lot of inspirational like stuff or content that the people around you may not be saying. So sometimes if you don't have the people around you who are like bringing the good stuff, you might be able to bring it in.
But I want to go back to what you said, though. Like, you really said a great point about, see, I know I got you. You really said a great point about depression, because I know sometimes, and I'm pretty sure we all do it. Like, I'm just gonna speak for myself, though. I know sometimes when I'm on you know, social media, not to say that I'm depressed or anything, but I know I'll, you know, scrolling like, oh dang, like I kind of wish I had that, or dang, I kind of, you know what I'm saying, ooh, their lifestyles, you know, and I'm
The
not in the place that I
influencers,
want to
yeah.
be. Exactly.
taking
So
vacations. I'm like, who's on
and
vacation?
people
every
really
Honestly,
take that
like-
literally.
And it's so subconscious
Yes.
that you don't even realize it. Before you know, you start feeling these feelings, and then you have to check it really quickly.
Exactly.
As quickly as they present themselves, you just like, nope, that's
Well,
not
if
for
you
But that
me.
goes
Exactly.
from social media
Yeah.
though, and you just like relax. Like, oh, I'm gonna take a week break. Like, you'll be way
can't
more
do it.
happier. You'll be way happier because you're focusing on yourself.
Can you do it?
Wait, you say
You know
you,
what I mean?
can't do it?
Can you
It's,
do
Why?
it's harder to do it, but like
Exactly.
I've tried it one time, and I was just like not worried about anyone but me, and I was just focused on my goal. And I was just like, I gotta go back on.
You know what?
social
My
media.
friends won't let me
Okay.
take a break. My best friends in the whole wide world love them to death, but they give me a lot of flack when I don't like their stuff on Instagram immediately.
Oh, you need new
And they'll be like,
friends.
"Why don't you like my stuff?" Like they think I'm throwing shade. I'm like,
busy.
I'm not throwing shade. I don't scroll because it's so detrimental. What Christina's
Yeah.
saying to my like mental.
Yeah.
But that goes back to what you know we've talked about before on other segments about the human interaction, you know, and if all your interaction with other people is based on on social media, and you're just waiting for someone to like something that you post instead of actually going to talk to someone,
But that's
you know, it can be very
Yeah.
detrimental to the psyche.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
a symptom, though. That's a symptom because, so, again, social,
addiction.
and it's a symptom
Part of
because
it.
even going at something deeper, social media, again, I always just go back to it. It's like the self-awareness. It's the being able to look within yourself to gain that stability, and social media is just a symptom if you're addicted to it of that, not necessarily
Yeah.
the social
I feel
media
like
itself.
I feel like a lot of people look at social media as like validation for like themselves.
Yeah, of
like,
course.
oh
I
my gosh,
100%
like
do.
I get so many likes, I must
Right.
be popping, I must be like
Yes.
doing my thing right now. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you have to have confidence within yourself in order to project that outside as well.
Exactly. and
So
some people
everything
don't
is
do
in
that.
moderation, right? So whether it's drinking or gambling or
Yeah.
social media, I mean, it's all a
Yeah.
matter of, you know, taking it.
Also, to go back to, you know, to tie in the influencer and mental health and social media, we have to keep in mind that people that are influencers use social media is their job.
Their life.
So they have millions and millions of followers, and they have to now be subjected to things that typically historically like just celebrities had to deal with like that hatred and backlash for, you know, because now you have a platform that you weren't groomed or prepared to have.
Exactly.
You know?
We've had a great time on today's show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time on I Wish You Knew.